Good morning, everyone. And before we start, we have a disclosure. Please stop the video and read the disclosure. Let's see what this market have for us today. There is a new signal as we speak on the DAX. The entry is 365, and then the target is 377 even. Before we start, we need to explain what we have here. We have three different automated trading system here. All of them does not require any optimization or tweaking. Here on the first column on the left upper corner, you have the new signals. You have the direction of the new signal. You're very welcome to copy any of those trades as long as it's your own risk. And please follow us on a sim. We're not allowed to call live trades for you. So you'll get to like what we just have seen on the DAX. You get the new signal on the ES, NASDAQ, everything. You get a new signal, direction, target, entry point, target, and then you get the pullback re-entry numbers. As an example, now the target has hit on the ES, and we're about to probably get a new signal. It was the target for that trade, 15 ticks, target hit, and now we are waiting for a long trade. As long as this market was short, we take one trade, and now we are waiting on a new signal until we get a new signal, and then we hit the long. This way, you can avoid all the chops in the market. Once we have a short, and we got the signal on the short, so the short is yours. As long as this market now is still in the short mood, we only have a pullback re-entry. That is going to cut off a lot of bad trades on your behalf, because in order for now to take long, we need a new signal given us long. And as long as we are going down here, that means we are on the pullback re-entry mood. The signal was on that side. This is connected to the market analyzer. The market analyzer is giving you straight entry and exit. The chart, if you are auto trading, I personally use ATM. There is three different kind of automated to trading with it. There's an ATM strategy, and fully automated. I personally like to take the trade and then use an ATM strategy. The reason I like that I can be controlling my target if I want to. The system is telling you what is the target. If you are on a fully automated, it tells you where the target and exit and get it out. But for me, I find it is much more advantage for me to let the auto trade take the entry and me managing that trade. The same story on all of them. So this is a very, very um, a reliable and a very consistent, and at the same time, we've been going live practically every day, except on Monday for private members only. We have showed good days, we have showed bad days, we have showed when we are in trouble. So there is nothing what you see, what you get. The same story here on the forex. You can use that system on future forex and stock, and then you can feed, like as an example right now, the new forex. We have a new signal, gives you the entry and the target. And I think we are missing one line here. Let me see. Okay, we have the safe entry and the target. I need to adjust it. There is one line is missing in here. On this market analyzer, it is the scalpers. What we use the same time frame. The two options on the time frame is 1 minute and 150 ticks. This is the only time frame we use, is the 1 minute scalping. and 150 takes scalping. So this is what we use on the scalper. And then here on the Ninja controller, what we are doing the swing trading. And as an example, on the swing trading right now, we have $900 on a trade. And this is the swing trading right now on the NASDAQ, 3 minutes. And there we go. We have on that swing trading at the moment, based on two contract, 950. Also, the swing trading does not require any optimization. The swing trading is based once the trend is over, the system is automatically closing that trade, and this way, traders should not be struggling with optimization, um, I mean, stop loss, trailing stop. Once this trend is over, the system is going to be closing that trade automatically. Mainly, we use 1 minute, 3 minutes, and 5 minutes. And you can use also ticks if you like to. There is no big deal. But we uh, if this market moving on the swing trading does not matter what time frame you are using, 1 minute, 3 minutes, or you are using 5 minutes. The reason is if this market moving, there is no one is going to be out trading you. That's for sure. The problem is not there. The auto trade will never miss a trade. The problem is when the trader don't know how to read the market and he turn on the any kind of auto trade when the market is a chop, and this is where a lot of traders has fell to read the market when the market is chopped, and they should be sitting on the side for a few minutes before they take. This is a 1 minute actually, and this is 490. Most of the auto traders you've seen out there, it is tweaking auto trade with Renko bar, line breaks, range, no gap, uh, Hakenachi ticks, whatever it is. And the only thing they try to stay away from the 1 minute, because the 1 minute reveal the true identity of any indicator and auto trade. That's why you don't see that many 1 minute auto trades, and then they can tweak with the Renko bar and give false results. So we're not in that business right now. So here is a trade on the YM, and we will be watching those trades. Whether it's an ES and there is a new signal, we will be covering those as well. And for me, sometimes I get busy, I don't pay attention. Keep your eye on the first column here. This is where you're going to get your new signal, and it tells you exactly where to enter, when to exit, pullback, re-entry. Right now we have a YM trade. If you are on a fully automated trade, the YM will exit at 66.11 without a doubt. But for me, most of the time we can grab a little bit more, or sometimes we don't. Depends on the market movement. And now today we will be looking at this one here, and keep our eye to see if we can extend a little bit out of that trade. Doing this, the trade, I normally, if I find one or two trade manually, I call it. I don't want to turn this one here to calling trades. And in the same time, I'll try to show that when there is sometimes where we have showed many times in the previous videos live, that there is sometimes during the session from now to 12 o'clock, you will find the market is untradable, and I usually call it when the market is sideways or the market is going into dive into chop. We immediately trying to warn the traders, whether you are an auto trader or not, or a manual trader. We try to warn you, telling you when there is um, uh, a little sideways in the market or the market diving into chops. I usually rely on very straightforward. We have the zone here, and I usually look at this chart to see how this market is reacting. As an example, this earlier today, uh, the ES was in a really nasty chop. You know, it's got stuck on this channel here between the support and the resistance, and that it is once the market gets stuck in an area, you should not be auto trading it, and you should not be trading it at all. So this is something where most of the amateur trading avoid the warning sign, and they avoid the signal where it says that you need to be careful with the trading. And this is where mainly they fell into a trap. And sometimes it can be avoidable by looking at a clean chart with the zone and see if it's tradable right now. We have a new signal on the Russell, and it is entry 714.4, and the exit is 718.9. So this is how there is a sound for the signals, but I'm a kind of guy. Uh, Open 100 charts and all day long hearing the music. It's not my piece of cake with the sound, but we have a sound on the uh, on the on the signal. So if you're not paying attention, it will give you a sound on those here. So right now on the YM, and I'll keep my eye on the ES. The ES right now we have already have hit the target, and we are coming to very strong area support line, and it is extremely strong. So if you are on the trade, very fine. But if you uh, trying to see where I need to exit on that trade, you should be reconsidering taking the ES out. You have two options on those numbers. The first one is 29, 25, 25. Take one tick above that. If you are on more than one contract, we need to close the first contract on the 25.25, the second contract on 25 even. So if you are in that trade, very well. This is the area where you need to close your ES. But if you are not in that trade right now, I strongly advise you to cool off a little bit, and until we see what's going on with the rest of the market. There is okay, let me see here. We have also the CL for the CL traders. Yeah, I don't want to cover the signal, so please keep your eye on the signal here. I'm not the one who's calling the trades for you. You need to follow the signals here. And right now on the CL, there is a little pullback, and this is a really good potential on the CL at 72.44 re-entry point. So this is a really just wow. The market is really changing. Hold on a little bit on the CL. Let's see what will happen on the CL. There is a really turning around on the CL. ES, nothing. Stay. If you're not on that trade, just to stay a little bit, wait a little bit longer so we can find a good entry on the ES. At the moment, the ES, as we said, the first contract you can exit at 25.25, the second one at 24.75 if you have two contracts. But if you're thinking about taking a short on the ES, you better hold on a little bit longer, because your destination, you're getting to this critical area where there is no more short. We had an entry way up here. We already hit the target. We are coming to the critical area. So your risk, if you are going to ignore those signals, your risk about making money on that ES right now is probably 0 or 1%. So be careful with that trade right now until we see something going on in the market. We have a new signal actually on the CL. I'm gonna be sharing that signal, and I didn't see that. We have an entry at on the CL at 72.39, and I will try to bring you the chart in a second. I just need to watch the ES was doing, and then we'll bring you the CL. The CL is the new signal at 72.39. We have a projection at 640, so let's. This is a YM. I'm lost. Where is the ES? Okay, here is the ES. I'm sorry, guys. I'm a little bit lost with it. The ES target 25.25 and 25 even. So we'll so be careful with the short trade on the ES right now. The YM, we have not hit the target. We will try to hit the target. And Nasdaq, the Nasdaq, we already hit the target. We are waiting on a new signal on the Nasdaq, so I'll keep my eye on all of them, and we'll try to keep our. It is very hard to keep my eye on all of them. I apologize. Sometimes I get confused, but we'll try to keep up with everything here. So let's see what will happen with the YM, and we're still waiting on a signal on the ES. A little bit chop right now. Be careful. This where most likely the ES final destination on the ES is 2475. So if you are out there, be careful with that. We need to make sure that don't go short at the moment, please. Sorry, I didn't mean to cover the signal, but okay. Now we can see how the ES will have a problem on the 2475. So be careful with the ES. And if we notice on the YM, we missed one tick to the target. We missed one tick to the target. So we'll see how we're going to approach the YM in a way. We're about the Nasdaq. I will keep my eye on the Nasdaq when we have a new signal. And then we'll let you know. Little bit sharp right now. Be careful. Do not take any trades. We is on situations like this, wait or let your auto trade take over. Um, don't take any trades when you see that confusion. Wait is about we are about to have a new signal on the Nasdaq, and then it seems like the YM came in exactly almost. We missed one tick on the YM to the target. So that's why if you want to, you can plus one tick and cover yourself with it, because I think we're fixing the market is changing directions. So probably we are fixing to get a new signal. Be careful with your trade. It is a very critical area right now on the Nasdaq with the true average price, and we have those belong to the automated trade. Those are the trailing stop one and trailing stop two. Those are FIPS. They are not a dummy trailing stop. So if this Nasdaq not able to break those area here, then this market is going back to retest those numbers. So right now we are in a very, very key point here, which is gonna change the direction of this market. So be careful and try not to take any manual trade. You see how this market came in exactly to the true average price, and this market had just jumped and kicked back. So if you notice what I have done to the trailing stop, and this one has been, they all in a way, they are all in a way connected, you know. So we need to keep our eye, whether you are an ES or not an ES trader. We need to keep our eye on the ES, what is going to do. And it seems like Nasdaq want to go back, retest those numbers, and it is exactly what we are talking about. That traders, even especially if you are an automated trading, you are not seeing that. You are just looking at numbers. And if your auto trade is making money, you're happy. If your auto trade is struggling today, you are very upset. But this is where we trying to magnify where is sometimes a chop market and there is no direction in the market, and this is the worst um, way if a trader do not uh, recognize that there is sometimes you need to sit on the side for a few minutes, or that area here is not tradable. As an example, right now an ES is not tradable, and this is a very critical area to trade. I can go further and I can call a reversal signal on the ES and all this, but right now I don't want to do that. So this is where mainly a lot of traders uh, start making mistakes, and so right now on the ES, absolutely, I will not invest $1 on the ES. I will stay on the side, and then we'll wait on a new signal. Once we get the new signal, then we can start trading again. So I'm keeping my eye on the I'm keeping my eye on the Nasdaq as well, and you can keep your eye on the signals here at the first column. If we look when the Nasdaq came out, it was troubled at those double resistance, and then what caused the market to drop again. And this is exactly where this market now going back on the YM to the target 6610, and that also has caused the same problem on the ES. Here is the problem right now with the trading. you're coming into very strong areas, and that is going to cause your market to be on the sideway. And coming to those area right now, you're going to see how this market is going to drive you crazy up and down, up and down. Most of the traders, when they see this little trend or this little noises here, they're going to get scared, they're going to miss their trade, and they're going to start jumping on the wagon. Before you know it, you will see this market before your eye start going the other direction. So this is exactly where we are expecting this market to land, okay, to the tick. And now that, if we notice here, they are trying to push this market, the ES, farther down, you know, and they might make it or they might not. I don't know. What we have built on that system here, those two yellow lines, once this market hit those two yellow lines, like the NASDAQ, YM, and ES, this is the most, it's not overbought, oversold indicator. I don't believe in overbought, oversold. What about supply and demand? If you notice right now, you can see how the ES got stuck in here, as expected. So when those guys trying to jump on the wagon and trying to take the short, scared they're gonna miss a trend, now it's going against them, and this is a problem where the traders cannot read that. You have to understand when the market is tradable, which box the market could be traded, and which area the market cannot be traded. Even if those guys trying to push it down to the second level here, there is not much different between 24 and 2350. It's not much enough different for you to go ahead and put $200 as stop loss. And that is where most of the 90% they fell. So even we received a lot of emails that they are in the paying rooms, and they find out they got more benefits here on our free sharing information on YouTube. We're not collecting any emails, we're not collecting names, we're not collecting money. And we received a lot of emails that we have outperformed many rooms, and we have explained things much better than when they were paying $300 a month and $600 a month. So, and this is our pleasure that we have a lot of people are happy with us, and thank you very much for all your compliments. So right now, this is where hands off, nothing we can do on those trades. The YM is hit the target, and the final destination on the YM is right there. 592. This is where the destination on that YM, there is nothing more. The ES now, they are pushing it down, is very fine. I will not let any auto trade take shorts anymore, and I will not take any trades in here. As a matter of fact, now when everybody trying to go short on an ES, I'm starting to look for reversal on the ES. And when everybody going short in this area, now I'm start looking to find long, because everybody, look at this, look at the ES, how it is failing to cross those areas. If you don't have those knowledge, you will never be able to trade the market. If you don't understand the false movement in the market, when to trade, when to hold your brakes and take your hands off the trading. If you don't have knowledge on that, that you will never gonna be able to make it in the trading. It comes after years of experience. And in auto trade, if this market moving, it is your lucky day. If the market not moving, there is nothing you can do. You are like anybody else, uh, having a problem that day. So there is no other third option in here. And doing all those years, we try to put common sense that even if you are auto trading, if we are providing a little more information than an auto trade, so it will be much better for you to learn a little bit before, especially if it's not costing you any money. I don't see what is the big deal about learning a little bit more and try to be a little bit more educated what's going on in the market. So right now, there is nothing can be done on the ES as expected, and hence off. And this is what is the different between. This is the different when you are auto trading a normal auto trade. When the market is trending, you are making money. When the market is not trending, welcome to trading. Nothing I can do for me to move this market for you. There is nothing I can do. This kind of auto trades, any kind of auto trades out there, they keep taking a trade left and right, up and down until they achieve their target. Whether, or let's say, if you are on a 500 or $1,000 daily target, or $1,000 losses or winning, the auto trade keep trading until he hits this $1,000 plus or minus. Like if we take the DAX, this is my chart I use every morning on the DAX. This is my daily DAX today. It was chop. Normally on the swing trading, one or two trade, I'm done. This is my 1 minute, and you can see today took one, two, three, four trades in order for it to achieve the target. So it's taken short and long until we accomplish the target. This is where 99.9% all the auto trades from us or somebody else work this way. On that one here, what you happen in this one here, when we had took the short trade and we nailed that trade, if we look at this market analyzer, we're still on that trade. We hit the target and we are done. Now we are sitting on the side on the ES. And what will happen, folks, we have avoided all this chop market because the auto trade is not going to take a new trade until we are over with the short trade, and now it is confirmed is long. Then we have a new signal telling us right now long. So in that approach, we are disconnecting a lot of the chop areas where most of the traders fail to read the chop areas, and that it is really amazing. Some traders cannot see that. So it is very important to understand where those boxes can be tradable and when those boxes, those areas are not tradable. And that's what mainly we are doing in here. We are trying to open your eyes to new things and try to um, recognize when there is a problem in the market. Then it can be, if it can be avoided, that is gonna save you a little disaster on your account. So I'm gonna stay a little bit quiet here and trying to see if I see any new signal. I'll be more than glad to share it with you. We're still on a standby, folks, and there is nothing right now. It's going back and forth in the same area. The ES is also the same, NASDAQ, the same area we predicted. Look at this. The ES tried to go back and jump in, and it didn't work. Then now the ES is going to try to see, retest the new numbers, and it's right on the spot, 29.24. The same thing with the Nasdaq is going back and forth. So we, in a way, we are stuck right now in the market, and you should not be, excuse me, you should not be auto trading or manual trading. You need to be on hold. If you are in a trade, that's great, but you cannot right now come in and a jump on a trade. I don't see any trades on the Nasdaq. I don't see any trades on the ES. The market is really sideways, and there is no way you are able to make money at the moment. Stay on the side till we get the new signal. This way, you play it safe, folks. The auto trades are doing their jobs. There's nothing wrong with that, but sometimes those area here can cause a problem with your auto trades, and you start giving up all your profit or whatever you accomplish for today. So it's always really advisable to keep your eye on the market while you're auto trading, if you can. I mean, you don't have to glue to the market to the screen, but I mean, you have to recognize when there is a problem, and to just keep your eye on it, see what's going on, and the bar movement, and that can right now look the ES. They're trying. You see this one here, those blinking. They're trying to sell on the ES. A lot of sell orders coming on the ES, and they're having a hard time penetrating this 29.24. That is gonna cause sideways in the market if they're not. Even if they broke that area, they're gonna struggle one more time at the 23.75. So it's not tradable. It's not. So what we need to get out of this area here before we can even look at this market and start taking a new trade. The same story in the Nasdaq. The Nasdaq want to push it down. Sellers, very fine. Final destination is not going to be anywhere than this area here. So we will see. But should I take a trade here? No. Your chances, even if this market go all the way down to the 55 level, and even if your ES gonna go down to the 22 level, this is not an area you have a lot of advantage to make money in those area here. It will be your chances making those trades is 2 out of 10. It's not 8 out of 10. It's 2. So you're high risk. You are putting yourself in much higher risk. And if you can save yourself one bad trade, that's $200 a day, folks. That's $50,000 a year. Do not underestimate. So it's not worth it to invest $200 on or $150 in that matter on a trade. The probability you're gonna lose on it. I say it the way it is. Nobody say it the way I say it, and I say it the way it is because it's about time somebody come out and say it the way it is. Rules, there is no rules. In this business, there is no rules. Today we have a rules, tomorrow it's not going to apply for it. You read a book, it might work today, tomorrow it's not going to work. And all those you see that they tell you if they're trying to sell something on the net, teach you how to trade. The only time you're going to learn how to trade when you trade. And that's the end of the story. You need to develop your own trading style, and then with a little help from somebody, open your eyes to what's going on in the market so you can look at it the same way as this person looking at it. That's it. Nothing we can do. Right now we still on a lot of short on uh, the swing trading here from the market analyzer. We still have a lot of shorts on the Nasdaq ES and YM. Let's look at them. We still have a short on the Nasdaq. This is the 3 minutes, and this is the 1 minute. We have a lot of chop market actually. On the ES, we have the 3 minutes still in the short, and also the 5 minutes still in the short. So on that trade, there is 475. They're almost, this is a 5 minutes and this is a 3 minutes. It's the same story. And this is the Nasdaq 3 minutes, 1,000 on that trade. And then there is the 1 minute, 350 on that trade. And yeah, this is it. Let me go back on the ES story and the Nasdaq. That's why we told you not to trade it. Look at this. There is nothing. This is where, sadly, if you are auto trading, this is where you will be losing money. Doesn't matter if you are auto trading from us or somebody else, but this is where you start diving into pile of mud here, and this is where the market is holding on the 2450 as expected from the beginning of this webinar. And the only time now is tradable once we can get out of that area. Here is the worst kind. If we're gonna go a little bit farther on the ES, it's still not tradable short. Actually, it has to be long, and I'm waiting because we use the Renko bar for reversal, and we never trade the Renko bar with a trend. This is a disaster if you want to trade the Renko bar with a trend, any Renko bar. As we see here, we had a perfect reversal out of the band. It is a perfect reversal, but right now we do not have a reversal on the ES. And it's very simple. We have a very strong hold on the 23.25. And it's right there. So the only time we can reverse this ES for long, if this ES is able to break that area here, and a drop on the first target. So this is one option. We can take a reversal and carry that ES from the bottom all the way to the top. This is where I have covered many couple of weeks ago how to trade reversals because they are extremely profitable. You know, first of all, you get out of those chop in the middle and how we nailed it, and it's on the YouTube. We have covered how to trade reversals, and there is a lot of money in the reversal. A little practice, but there is a lot of money in the reversal if you know how to reverse this market. So right now, if we are looking at this ES, it is one chop area here that if you are auto trading, especially those guys auto trade, no matter where this auto trade coming from, you're gonna be struggling. And the only time we can reverse this market is from those area here. And I'll keep my eye on it as well for you. And I will be calling it for you if I see anything worse to chew on. It is a bit, we are sitting on the side. And if we look on the NASDAQ, it's the same problem right now. So this is where, sadly, not a lot of traders recognize that. And this is where 95% of amateur trading, they start losing money in those areas here. So if you like to scalp the market, you can follow the scalpers and follow the market. If you wanted to have a couple takes here and there, at the moment you can scalp the market. And as an example, right now, YM have a long, ES has a long. So when there is a new, so when you see it's minus 10, that's mean it is two takes from, or minus 10, that's mean there is two takes from the entry point. You're very welcome to follow it. Or if you see short, you can trade short. But you can follow those signals as well when they first come out. Or if you wanted to stay on the safe, you can follow the new signals from the first column here on the left upper corner, as long as it's is at your own risk. So we have no signal whatsoever. So we are waiting on a new signal, and would love to share everything we have with you. Waiting time, nothing we can do. Just wait. Once you get to know the system, and once you start looking at it for a couple of weeks, once you see the system start hitting the target with those fibs, and right now there is no long, there is only short, pullback, re-entry, short. Once you hit the target, that is going to cut off your bad trades to 75%. So this is a really key turn-in for a guy emotionally cannot or not experienced enough to trade. By just taking his time and learn those lines and follow those lines. You don't need to do anything. Once you have the new signal, you can use the auto trade or an ATM or fully automated. You start around 9:30, waiting on a new signal. Once we catch this signal, you stay with it until we hit the target. By 12 o'clock, you should be done. and you don't have to think where you need to enter and where you need to exit. And then during those time, you can learn where is the pullback re-entry. We've been covering that a lot, and we can give you a little bit more advanced trading. But the things here is designed not to put you in a room for 1 year and train you. What it is, it takes you a couple weeks to learn it, and then you can start making decision on those trades. It seems like we're about to have a new signals on the CL. Let me see. There is nothing, guys. I can call any trade for you right now. For an ESCL, YM, Nasdaq, is the the risk is very high. I don't want to interfere with it. I only like to call the safe trade. And you see the YM, it did go down, and the CL is still same place. You see, the ES is still in the same place, and now we hit the target again on the YM. Now finally we hit the target on the YM. The ES didn't budge. That telling us those a few ticks. This YM made it is nothing. It's just a few ticks, bubbles, and nothing. And now look, the party is over on the YM. We hit the target. We were missing a couple ticks in here. You see? Now we hit the target. We went down a few ticks more. And the Nasdaq and Dow Jones did not react. The ES and the Nasdaq did not react with that YM movement. So this white YM movement is nothing but bubbles. There is nothing in it. So when this movement came in onto the YM, probably somebody out there got scared he's going to miss a trend. He jumped on the wagon and it's over. This is here. You cannot trade anymore. It's over. If you are in that trade, you are a very happy camper. But here, you cannot take trades anymore. It's finished. And ES and the Nasdaq are not responding. They are not reacting to this YM movement. Bubbles. Look. Nothing. You should never get excited with the market if you see all of a sudden there is a couple bars or 3 bars movement. Don't let it make you dance with a couple bars. Just pull back a little bit, be a little bit German with it, Say this is not my game here. It's over. Don't let it lower you to trade. Keep it very straightforward, German type. Cold. Don't budge with it. Then you can get a lot of success with it. Discipline is number one in the trading. Disciplined. That's why you find a lot of German success traders. They are trained to be disciplined. Serious traders. And we have a lot of good traders in USA. They learned the hard way to be disciplined. So we should never use motions in the trading. Brits are good. Brits are very good. Holland. Now again, the Nasdaq is going back. You see this area here is retesting the same numbers. This is the true average price. In order now for this Nasdaq to get up and give us a new signal, has to go through this true average price. It did earlier today and it fell. Now we have this 75, 78. This is a very key to the market. This is a key on the Nasdaq right now. And you see most of the time that key hold. And if we are breaking those numbers, now we got a new key right there. Now the Nasdaq has also another milestone here in order for us to get the long signal. As long as this market below those numbers, below those lines, you should never take long because everybody's still thinking in this attitude we are short. So the pullback re-entry has been around for many years and it is the most success trade is identify trend short or long pullback re-entry. It's been around for over for over 25 years and it never ran out. As long as those levels below what we have drawn on the chart for you, you should never take long. You should be always thinking short on the pullback re-entry until we break a certain area, then we identify now we are on a long mood. Now this attitude on the Nasdaq and ES right now, short. When the market goes up to those levels, then this is a re-entry on a short. But we are in a short mood. There is no long. So this is where probably you get confused. If we notice after we hit the target, the party is over on the YM and you should be closing those trades. As long as this YM is still in those bucks here, we are on a short mood. There is no long. So all the sideways right now, all the chops, we stayed out of it. If we look at the 1 minute, now we've been in this for what, 30 minutes? And if we notice, nothing but a chop on the Nasdaq. Nothing but a chop. Can you imagine how many traders lost money in those area here? And we have predicted. It is very hard to predict chop market. And we have predicted today. And here's the same story on the. It's hard to predict it, not after the fact. It's hard to predict it before it happened. Anyone can see what happened right now. But when we, half an hour, we saw this market getting stuck, we set all our hands off the trading because this is really a chop area where you should not be trading. So this is for those guys that wanted to auto trade. If this market or you come in and you try to any auto trade, folks, we're not covering just our auto trade. And believe me or not, I'm the last one. I need to protect somebody else auto trade. It's not my intention at all. But I'm going to the trader is relying on an auto trade. If you started your auto trade here, you're not going to be making money, whether it's our auto trade or somebody else. Some of the auto trades, they're going to blow your account and they are a disaster. Some of them are good. This is not the area. The problem is with those guys with the auto trades, they only look at numbers. They don't see this. They see the auto trade made money or not. That's it. So on those area here, whether you are auto trading or you are a manual trading, you're not going to be making money in this area. As simple as that. Simple as that. Yesterday for the our for our members, we covered the 5 minutes scalpers, and this is already hit the target on the CL with 2 trades on the scalper, and we already, I think, we hit the DAX on the scalper, the 5 minutes, the ones we covered yesterday in the room. So those two are doing extremely well, the CL and the DAX on the 5 minutes scalping. Signal on the 6E, a new signal on the 6E, entry 8540, target 8405. And it is short entry, and this is the 6E right now. if you notice, no matter what we are doing, the Nasdaq is keep going back and dropping. There is no long. If you look at the ES, it start getting tighter and it start getting, it's practically not moving anymore. It's dying on us, the ES. So here it is. How are you gonna make money in here? There you cannot make money. You cannot make money. Where the ticks coming from? You cannot. Where the ticks coming from? There is no ticks to get out. So this is why we are sitting on the side and waiting on a new signal. Nothing, absolutely. The market is not on the ES, NASDAQ, and Dow Jones. At the moment, there is no trade. We need to find a new area to trade. Those areas are not tradable, and we need to find a new area to trade. So we will be watching the new signals, and we need to see the Nasdaq and YM getting out of those bad area, the zone, and in order for us to trade. Right now, if you wanted to take a trade, the only thing you can do, you can follow the scalpers for a couple of trades here and there, a few ticks, or take a coin out of your pocket and flip it because there is no direction. It is exactly, folks, like a bus going down the hill with a drunk man, no steering wheel, and no brakes. Nobody can predict that market anymore now. No one. Now you are just shooting in the air and you flip the coin. This is your best offer to take trade because it's not tradable. And even when I see short, it is a high risk short. I cannot trade those. Those areas are not belong to us. The short trade on that one here is not for us. It's not belong to you. Our area is not here. So this is where, believe me or not, a lot of traders they're gonna fall into this trap. And today it will be some traders losing money. So for you not to trade today does not mean you did not make money. You just saved yourself losing money. And I prefer to stay on the side saying I didn't lose money than to jump into this mess and then lose money. So by not trading right now, you're just keeping your money in your pocket. It is your best option until we get a new signal, folks. Until we get a new signal. I'm staying quiet. There is nothing to do until we get a new signal, folks. I'll go ahead and get a fresh coffee and see what we can do. If somebody wanted, let me see, the 2750, I'm not happy about it. No, I'm not going to call that trade on the ES. It's too tight. Some of you are not light-handed, so I'm not going to mess with it. We'll wait on the new signal. It is our best option. Okay. a new signal. A new signal right now on the YM long 66 level. New signal. Good, I caught it on time. I was looking at so this is a new signal we have. Target 641. And also, we are about to have a new signal on the ES and the NASDAQ. They're all coming right now. So keep your eye on it, please. The NASDAQ is very genuine entry. Sorry, the YM 66 level is very good. And now we're about to have a new signal on the NASDAQ. Keep your eye on it, please. For the ones don't know where to look for the new signal, it will be here on the first column. This is a very nice lift off on the NASDAQ, on the YM. We always try to make sure that you get 1 or 2 trades every day. We should have a new signal very soon on the ES and NASDAQ. Any second, we should have now a new signal, ES Nasdaq. What a day. It's a very slow. We are waiting, still waiting on the signal, guys, on the Nasdaq ES. You gotta get ready for it. It's coming any second right now. The CL, Tony, it is because you don't have the chart, Tony, but the CL did exactly what the CL has to do. If you're looking at the CL, here is your sell entry, missed the target by a few ticks, pull back exactly to the entry signal and the reversal. So the CL did exactly what's supposed to, Tony. And now we are sitting here with the projection at 72.20. So it did exactly what's supposed to. And so the CL is right now 16 ticks from the sell entry. And there is a good potential to get the 71.99, my friend. And even farther than that can be almost to 71.81. So The CL is in the clear, and now we are waiting on a new trade on the Nasdaq and an ES. We are waiting on a new signal coming out any second. This market is driving us crazy. We're waiting on the Nasdaq is not moving and the ES is not moving. We are waiting on a few ticks more to get the signals, and we are patiently waiting on those trades. So there's nothing we can do. I really would like to see the Nasdaq a new signal and ES a new signal, which are about to come any second. We're about to have it, guys. Be careful. The whole market now start taking off. We should have a new signal any second right now. There we go. We're gonna take it a little bit higher on this one, and we're waiting for the new signal. The market is changing. You can see a new signal on the ES right now at 96.75. Oh boy, there is a lot of mess on the ES. There is a lot of mess. And we're about to have a new signal on the NASDAQ. Oh, can you see where the target is in the? We'll see what will happen. So 26.75 is your entry on the ES, and we are waiting on the Nasdaq actually. What a day! We have a long trade for 12:30 on the Nasdaq. Where is that? We still waited on the Nasdaq. There is no entry on the Nasdaq. Uh, did we get an entry? No. Yes, we did. It is entry price 585.25, target 604. So we have an entry on the Nasdaq as well, and that's good. Nobody is going home empty-handed. We have a new signal on the Russell. Entry 716.1. Target is 1720.2. So this is really good. Here we go. The target on the YM is 66.40. That will give you 40 ticks. And if you want to jake it up a little bit, you can do that by putting it at 663. The problem is with the ES. I'm concerned about the ES. We have a little problem at the 30.75 and 30.25. So you should not be very picky with the trade on the ES trade. You have to be careful with the ES trade. And there is a little bumper on the way. Nasdaq. Um, at least we were patient enough to get the new signal. Can you imagine when the market was sideways and sitting on the side? How many traders they got into those trouble and lost money? So this is we stayed out of trouble. That's the main thing. We did not jump into bad trades, but it is a hard day today. If you were sitting by yourself, probably you would have got or dive into those chop market, and you would have really got some damage to your account today. So uh, Tony, take your hands off the CL. Now we are diving in, Tony, in this chop market. Stay away from it. Stay away from the CL at the moment. We're about to have a new signal on the CL. Oh, okay, we are hitting almost the target on the YM, and it's the same story. On the ES, you have to be light-handed, guys. The first bumper is 29.25. YM is going head directly to 66.40. That will give you 40 ticks on that trade. I'll let you know, Tony, when the CL have a new signal. We'll let you know. But it is a very hard day to trade today. Actually, it is. Um, I'm sure some of you, if you were trading by yourself today, you would have got in a lot of trouble. It's like the market's stopping. We only have 4 ticks on the ES, 6 ticks on the Nasdaq, and a YM 23 ticks. Extremely slow, but we're going in the right direction. The problem is because the Nasdaq is not moving forward, and I'll show you why. The Nasdaq is making the ES and the YM on hold. After we get the buy entry signal on the Nasdaq, if we notice here that there is a resistance followed by another heavy resistance, and that it was not strong enough to break all those area, which made the Nasdaq go back a little bit. And you can read it immediately on those the ES. And now we got caught between a support and a resistance on this Nasdaq, so we need to really break out for those to fly, and that is gonna take some time. And I hope that Nasdaq is gonna stay on that area here. It's not gonna break all the way down to here, because then we are looking for another chop, and that is gonna cause a lot of damage on the ES and the YM. So I'm hoping that this area is going to hold. Otherwise, we are going to dive into a lot of problems from now to 12 o'clock. So now we are at this critical point to make sure that this Nasdaq is not going to go any farther down than the whole things is going to be. If this area is not going to hold, then the re-entry point is 76 level, 76.25. So that's why we are hoping that area here stay on that level, the Nasdaq. If it does, and trying to go back to retest, that is gonna make, you can see immediately your ES and your YM start climbing to those target. So now the eye on the Nasdaq, if you are a YM trader or a Nasdaq trader or an ES trader, you cannot avoid one chart. You have to look at all three. Somehow they are connected, you know. Even when sometimes one chart is a bit off, but the ES have a role and the Nasdaq, have a role as well. So you gotta keep your eye on all of them in order for you. If you want to trade the Nasdaq, you have to look at the ESYM. If you are trading the ES, you have to keep your eye on the Nasdaq and the YM. If you want to trade the YM, you have to keep your eye on the Nasdaq and ES. There is no way out. Excuse me. So there is no way out, guys. Those they work in sequence. And now, if you see how the Nasdaq start, that is gonna have direct impact on your ES trade right now. You know. So now we can predict there is some breakout is gonna come on this impact if this Nasdaq keep going up to those areas. Let's see, which is going to be, and that is gonna make your ES before you see it flying right in front of your eye. So this is, you gotta keep your eye on those three instruments so you can understand what's going on, especially the ES if it's coming to hard area. Even if the Nasdaq that day is not really following the ES, but it stays on a certain level until this ES breaks some major areas. So this is gonna see in advance, ahead of time, how the impact is going to be on the YM and the ES as well. You know, so they all connected somehow. You know, either or either way, they are all connected. So we're keeping our eye. This is a good news on the Nasdaq. I mean, for a day like today is a hell. But as long as this Nasdaq is holding with those areas here, 83.50, we are okay. As long as this Nasdaq don't drop on the re-entry point to the 78 level. So this is very important to stay above those areas on the Nasdaq, and then we will um, then we can hit the target safely. I'm gonna stay quiet. It's been a really rough, slow day, boring day actually. But I'm gonna stay with you on those straight until make sure that you're home safe with it. And I'm gonna stay quiet to see how the Nasdaq gonna hold on those levels. New signal on a 30-year Treasury bond. Entry price 139.25. Sale order, and then target 139. It's not much really, but this is the new signal on the 30-year Treasury bond, and it seems like this market is gonna drive us crazy today. We're still waiting, but there is a new signal on the 30-year Treasury bond for those guys that want to trade the bonds. Really slow day. Nothing we can do. Until we see that Nasdaq breaking those area. There we go. We are broken this area now. There we go. The whole story has changed. Come on, move. Okay, now on the Nasdaq, based on one contract, we have ES $25, $100 Nasdaq, $70 based on one contract, and still this market is not moving. I mean, the target is way up here at 0450, and we still have one more bumper at 93.75, and then home free to 60450. So let's see how the YM and the ES gonna respond to this first breakout, and we still have one more breakout. Is the 93.50. We'll see. Target hit, guys, on the CL. Target hit at 71.91, and now it's about to reverse. So let me see if I can find anything on the CL with the CL trade. And now there is a lot of buyers coming in on those two trades, the YM and the ES. Oh, too late to call that trade on the CL. Okay, fine. The CL trade was all the way down to 71.90. It's too late to call. So, We're not gonna deal with it. Okay, guys, there is not much to do. I'm gonna be call it off for today, and I want to say thank you very much for today, and we will see you tomorrow at 10 o'clock Eastern time, the same channel. Thank you very much. Be careful today with all those trades, and let me see if we're gonna have some movement the next 5 minutes. It's really boring. The market not moving. Okay, guys. Thank you very much, and we'll see you all tomorrow, 10 o'clock Eastern Time. Bye for now.